Hi everyone, hello. It's Isaya, the tech goddess. Hi there. And this is Things Women Don't Talk About. So this is one of my crazy ideas, another one. And I'm going to get my senses back. So this is one of the things that I do with guests. So this is the second time I have a guest. I'm really excited. Tonight I have Kristy. So I'm going to present a little bit of what this whole thing is going to be about, and then I'll tell you who Kristy is. So Things Women Don't Talk About is basically, the idea came because I realized that there are many things that women don't talk about. It's like it's not polite, or it's too deep, too difficult, or not serious enough to be broadcasted. It's too mundane. We're not going to be talking about that. We are spiritual entrepreneurs. We need to have high elevator topics, or sometimes the subjects are too dark, or too sacred, or too light, or too fun. Basically, there's so many things that we don't talk about when we come live or recorded, for that sake. And I thought, hey, that would be fun. I have a bunch of friends who are very good at talking at subjects that we don't talk about. So I thought, let's do this. And of course, one of the first people I wanted to invite in this is Kristy. So Kristy Iris, meet Kristy. Hi, Kristy. I never know which side of you I am, so
Yeah.
And so Kristy does some amazing things, some magic things to her home and yours. And she usually collaborates with conscious creatives in order to connect their home and their soul. And but I'm going to, as I do, because she knows herself better than I do, let her introduce herself for a couple of minutes. Welcome. I'm really excited.
Hello, thank you. And I'm coming to you from my actual bathroom. I'm sitting on my toilet with a cushion on top. 45 minutes or so here. But I just thought it was apropos.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Sorry, I forgot to say. We are talking bathroom, right? Bathroom.
We're talking bathrooms, right? So when Isaya was talking about having conversations, to me it just seemed like a no-brainer, because my world is so much about how our homes have this incredible impact on our quality of life, of our success, of our day-to-day functionality, that it just seemed a no-brainer to me to talk about the bathroom, which is so often taboo, and how my journey to this world of connecting, as I call it, home and soul, came really from my background in theater design. Oh, we've got people coming in.
Yeah.
Love it. Welcome to my bathroom.
I love it.
I mean, just that alone, it just feels so taboo to be like sitting on my toilet and sharing,
I hope my bandwidth would. I really hoped my bandwidth would be good enough to go in my bathroom, but it wouldn't. So I'm sorry, I have to be in my regular spot. But I love my bathroom.
Yes, and I've seen pictures of your bathroom with the beautiful plants, right? That was your bathroom,
absolutely.
That you did a mural of beautiful plants on it?
Yeah, so bathroom conversations is about weird moments that happen in bathrooms, hilarious stories, deep, meaningful, life-changing instants. There are so many things that happen in bathrooms. And when you said, hey, let's talk about bathrooms, I thought this is so rich. I'm not even sure. So I forgot to say that these conversations are not supposed to last more than 45 minutes, which is going to be a challenge for the both of us.
Yes.
But if it seems that the bathroom thing needs more, we can do a second episode, because I believe that when you said bathroom, it just like made so much sense that it's a part of the house where maybe the intimacy is the most bare, let's say that, and so obviously things would happen then.
Yes.
But do you want to start us off? Why did you choose it? Why did you suggest it?
Well, I think, like I sort of said, I came to this work through doing theater
Mm.
design. So I've always been a theater kid and got into design costumes, mostly costumes. And then I got into graduate school as a freshman in this program, and I moved to New York City. And I did a bachelor's and master's degree and designed a lot of crazy experimental theater. And I got to work on Broadway plays and all this stuff in New York City. And what it really was always about for me was the creating make-believe worlds for make-believe people. And I got into set design and lighting design as well. And, you know, there's just, I always wanted to help people. And eventually I actually stumbled upon feng shui back in the 1900s, about 1996.
Ooh, previous millennium.
I know, it's so funny to say 1900s. And I started studying it and realized it was a really great idea, but I didn't want my home to look like a Chinese restaurant. And I'm a rebel in that sense that I really took the essence of it and started making it my own and combining it with how we create these environments to tell stories for a play. So, or a film or a TV show. So that's how this all evolved for me. And helping real people change their lives was just in many ways, way more satisfying than any opening night. So,
well,
but in that, yeah, you know, I feel like one of the things that has always weighed heavy on my heart was how much feng shui gives bathrooms a bad rap, and how many clients I've worked to over the years who came to feng shui and then to me. And we're just, you know, I've seen all kinds of crazy things that people have done to even just close off their bathrooms like it's not supposed to exist because, like, you know, poo happens and when you get the energy, there's all these ways that energy flows out, you know, the sink, the toilet, the tub, all these things, you know, so there's just so much negativity. And for me, it's like, okay, wait a second, like this was 5,000 years ago. Things were a lot less sanitary now. And I got to tell you, some people have $100,000 bathrooms. I've had clients, I would honestly move into their bathrooms and just live there. They were way bigger than any New York City apartment I ever had. So, you know, I just feel like I wanted to, if nothing else, give bathrooms like a little respect and love and say like, they're awesome places. I mean, and you think about it, the whole breadth of life can happen in a bathroom, right? I mean, I'm sure there are many babies that are conceived in the shower. And I have to say, you know, on a somber note, I had a miscarriage that most of it happened in the bathroom alone.
Yeah.
You know, and so I've experienced death in a bathroom and all that went with that. And I did go on to get pregnant again a few months later, and I had a beautiful daughter. I do also want to say I got pregnant twice the year I was 40, naturally. It can happen. Not all women have fertility issues. I just feel like that needs to be
But it doesn't have to happen in the bathroom, right? We're allowed to do it.
TMI, she did. Neither of them were conceived in the bathroom. Just TMI. Since we're already here, you know. But
I almost gave birth. I almost gave birth in a bathroom, to be honest, because the day that my son was supposed to come to finally, you know, arrive, I didn't know it, but I was actually building the bathroom, tiling, because I had this crazy nesting energy, and I was, you know, on all fours tiling the bathroom, the floor, and then my water broke. So it was like, okay, let's go to the hospital right now, and the hospital is 45 minutes away. So, you know, the bathroom.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I want to acknowledge that the word bathroom in itself needs a conversation for me, because as you may know, I'm French, and when I hear bathroom, I never know if we're talking about a place where there is a toilet and that's it, because in France, toilets have their own personal room, right, without even a sink, which, you know, for me kind of calls some questions about hygiene. You know, you poo and then you don't wash your hands, sorry, what? Or you have to open the door with a handle and then go and open another door to wash your hands in some other place. You know, I was educated or raised in Switzerland, where we don't do like this. We have bathrooms that include a sink and a shower or bath. But in France, bathroom could also mean a tiny little room with just a toilet in it, which to me is like weird, right?
Right.
And then we have the very, very deep question of the bidet, the very deep question of the bidet, because
So
in
bougie.
all of the
Yes.
northern parts of Europe, there are bidets in every single bathroom. Now in the in the south of Europe. Now in the north of Europe, not so much. Not so much. I don't suppose that people don't wash there, but this part of their anatomy, but they don't wash it that way. So it's like I believe that there's so many things we don't talk about, not even the actual constitution of the room, and what
Yes.
happens in there.
Yes. Yes. So here in America, a bathroom is considered a sink, a toilet, and a shower or a tub or a walk-in shower. A half bath is just a toilet and a sink, so you always can wash your hands.
A half bath, I love that.
A half bath. So you might have
half bath was half a bathtub, like.
Yeah. So you might have like 1.5 baths,
Yeah.
So yes, which is often more like in a public part of the home, so that so you're not, wasting your money, like having people, in a shower, installing. All
in Greece,
so,
in many, not obviously the very poor houses, but the little posher houses, you have a half bath. Now I know that it's called like this. That is next to the entrance of the house, basically. That's for guests, so that you can have your own bathroom as a huge mess if you want to, with all the duckies for the little ones to play in the bath and everything. But then you have the guest half bath, which is like posh and smells good
Right. Yes, maybe has pretty like soaps and the little guest towels.
Yeah.
Right. That you never use otherwise.
And people never actually go there. I mean, like the owners of the house, because you're not going to clean it, so.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
But for me, it's mostly a place of intimacy. Like, it's mostly what happens in the bathroom we never talk about, right?
Right.
First of all, you have, first, I don't know. We're going to go at this in a complete disorganized way.
Yeah. Natural flow.
By the way, so for me, one of the big things is the mirrors, or the mirror, if there's only one. But it's one of those, for many people, mirrors are not something that they have in their house because they're not comfortable with their self-image. I used to be that person. And so the bathroom is one where, it's kind of compulsory to have a mirror. And then how do you meet yourself in there? The face, and if it's more than just a face, what about the rest of the body? And it does, plus you're very often kind of naked.
Yeah. All that, of course, once you get to be a certain age, then, the magnifying mirror, like I honestly just often wear glasses, but when I'm on camera, I get so distracted by trying to hold my head so the glare doesn't hit my, but I just pulled out the magnifying. I was like, oh yeah, I have one of these. My mom gave it. Now I understand why.
Yeah. No, I've had one of those for a long time, but it's my eyes.
Yeah. You're a couple of years older than I am, but
I've also been half blind for most of my life, so it's like not blind.
Oh, me too. But I'm nearsighted. Yeah, but there's all the skin.
But in the bathroom, I usually take off my glasses in the bathroom though, because of the steam. So this, which is a very, let's put it this way, a very friendly ally, the steam, because it goes on the mirrors, and then I can breathe more easily. Or I used to be this person.
Yes.
I have been doing a lot of mirror work over the years, so I'm much better, and talking to the mirror and to the person in there, and reminding that person in there that it's me, basically, and that we're kind of all right.
That's such a great reminder. About mirror work.
I know that
bathrooms
I
themselves.
actually, it's one of the things that I remind my clients to do very, 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 very often, that, and doing it in the bathroom where, basically you won't be disturbed, because that's also, um,
Right. Yes.
that's one of the places where you're not disturbed. So if you want to talk to yourself and, tame the beast or get friendly with this foreign or stranger, can be
Right.
yourself. It's a good
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Yeah. The privacy thing took on a whole different thing when I became a mom. Because remember, I didn't become a mom until I was 41. So I had decades as an adult to have my own bathrooms. And so then suddenly and I have a little girl, so, I'm sharing the bathroom, like, all the time. I mean, my gosh, how many times I've honestly like went to the bathroom nursing her in my arms, doing it all my business one-handed, and then she's in the tub every night, and then the potty training. I mean, I remember in our half bath, we had a friend come over and her daughter, and both girls were getting potty trained. We're just learning to use the potty. So we had a big potty with the potty seat on it with the insert, and then we had another little potty sitting on the floor, for options. So there we are in a small space, just a sink and a toilet and a kid's toilet, two adult women who, we were both full-figured kind of gals, and our daughters, our 3-year-old daughters, all 4 of us crammed into the bathroom laughing about having a potty party and singing songs about using the potty. I mean,
But
that's
that's
just
one thing that I wanted to mention, because we said we were going to discuss potty training in bathrooms, and for me, it's really interesting that this phase of the motherhood phase, or the childhood for the child,
right.
we have no intimacy, no privacy
No,
around
no,
pooping,
no,
right, and
no.
around
Oh no.
peeing, and around all this.
Right.
It's just like,
Yes.
and then as soon as the child is supposed to be potty trained and clean, it's like, nope, I don't want to know. It's like
Right.
there's this like a huge barrier that comes up. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
when I was a child. So my parents were hippies, right? So I grew up in communes and in crazy environments you don't want to know. But basically, being naked was not an issue. All over the
Mm-hmm.
place. Everyone, children, adults. I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying it's just a fact. And so the first time that I kind of encountered a different set of rules regarding nakedness and intimacy in bathrooms was like, sorry, what? You want me to close the door? Why? you know so
Yeah, right.
uh, it just happened. The bathroom was a bathroom, and people came in and out of the bathroom, and somebody was taking a shower and the other person was peeing, and that was normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and so for me, as a 8 or 9 year old, when somebody said, I'm going to the bathroom, and I think I was at a friend's house, and she said, I'm going to close the door, and it was like, why?
Right.
We're in the
Yeah.
middle of
No.
a conversation here. You're
Right.
leaving me to
Yeah.
go pee. Why can't I come
Right.
with you and keep on going? So it was like, okay, new set of rules
Right.
then. Okay, learn something,
Yeah.
Isaya.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say, and we talked about like how American public bathrooms are so open and
yeah,
public, and
yeah,
you can see through the doors, and I was never comfortable with that. And then once I realized, like, that was actually, that Europeans were like horrified by how
yeah.
open
Most
our
Europeans would
bathrooms
be.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I honestly never could poop around anybody. Like, I would hold it forever until I'd get home and poop in the
Yeah,
privacy of my
my
own
kids are the
bathroom.
same.
Yeah.
My kids are the same.
Until yeah. And
For
and
me,
now, I mean, yeah.
when I was a child, it was not a question of holding it. It was, if I was going to hold it, I was going to hold it forever, literally. So, you had no choice. But I
Right.
see that my kids, who I didn't raise particularly with privacy, and we did not live in communes when I was a grown up, but still they left to their own way of doing things. They spontaneously closed the doors and wanted some intimate privacy in there. So I think there must be something innate around but also I remember in a completely different, the privacy in the bathrooms. I have an aunt who I love to bits, and she is British, and she's married to a Greek guy, and they used to come. My Greek uncle, they used to come at my granny's for Christmas. So we had these huge parties, 25 Greek people, loud speaking, a lot of food, never ending conversations, because when you go to Greece for Christmas, you don't just go for the day, you go for the week. So for 1 week, you have 25 people in the house coming in and out, cooking, eating. It's never ending. And my Auntie Jane used to take baths, like mini baths. She would say, I'd go and have a bath, and she would disappear for a whole hour. And I thought, okay, well, she likes to be clean. It never occurred to me that she never, or not all the time, put any water in the bathtub. She just took a very nice good book and locked herself in the bathroom and had an hour of me time, with nobody speaking Greek to her, because she does speak Greek, but it's like, when you're in the middle of people speaking a foreign language, even if you do speak it, it does your head in. Plus, just be left alone for an hour. And she would do that 2-3 times a day. But it took me years, literally. I think I was 14 when I woke up. She had forgotten to lock the door, and just opened the door, and there she was, fully clothed in the bathtub with a book. And it was like, okay, so that's what you do.
Totally get that.
But
Yes.
but I have friends who do that with their kids. I'm going to the bathroom, lock the door, have 15 minutes to yourself.
Especially during COVID. When we had it was all the time. And then there's always the fingers under the door. Mom, you locked the door.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, because I need to survive.
Please just let me scroll a little longer.
Yeah. And then you have the readers or scrollers, or I'm going to confess here, I do my social media on the toilet. I actually give myself 30 minutes in the morning to do my business. So my pooing, literally, and because we're going to say the words here, and my social media. So I do all the things, the random scrolling and the befriending and all that in the toilet, because it seems like a good, not wasting my time situation. I can do those things. I used to read in the toilet, but now I don't.
Yeah. I've also gone through phases, especially I think in motherhood, that I realized, as far as before motherhood, I had a lot of time for my inner spiritual work and giving myself good thoughts. So I started to really take the bathroom breaks as a time to releasing the negativity, releasing whatever energy was not serving anybody, and to have some inspiration. So I would have, some oracle cards and books, and, just kind of have that moment. Even, I've done some really good connecting to, energies and, angelics, and hey, I need some help here, or I need some guidance. And so I've also taken it as sometimes as my
absolutely
moment to reconnect, because it's,
and definitely if we're not talking about the strictly the toilet, but we're talking about the bathroom as a whole, the shower for me is definitely a connecting place. It's like, I get in there, and as soon as the water hits my crown chakra, it's like poof, connect upstairs. It's like woof. And then I feel this grounding thing, and this, kind of all the crap is leaving me. I never anymore just wash out the dirt. I wash the whole thing, and I clean and cleanse at the same time. And I carry crystals when it's time for crystals to come. They come with me in the shower because we might as well.
Yeah. And I know that and some moms I'm very open with that during COVID, sometimes the shower was the only time for a little self-love, shall we say.
Absolutely.
Pleasuring. That was a way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to do that a lot when I was a teenager. The shower thing was a really, really helpful. We're discussing bathrooms. Yes, I know that, bathroom conversations. Welcome.
Yes, welcome. Yes, what are we discussing?
This is things women don't talk about, and we decided that we would talk about all those things.
And I am in my bathroom. So hello
absolutely.
From my bathroom.
Beautiful bathroom, by the way.
Thank you. And yes, it's got a rainbow theme. Let's see, so you can kind of see.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
My daughter and I have, even my little tissue, a little like watching TV crochet little tissue box cover. And I do in my mind, I someday think I'm going to actually paint each of these ruffles to be like a rainbow, but hasn't happened yet. But yes, so I just
for me the bathroom that I have now is a dream bathroom because I used to have a bathroom that was in a corridor. Basically, it was kind of so tiny and so cramped, and there was no light at all. I mean, no natural light. And so when we bought this house, I said I want a bathroom that has a window that I can open the window and look outside. Because my house, but I live in the middle of nowhere, right? So I'm lucky enough that I can shower with the window open and there's nobody there to watch me. So it's like, cool. I mean, the trees can watch me, but I don't care about the trees. And the deer maybe sometimes.
Yes, we have. And for the person asking, are you sitting there? I am sitting on the toilet, but I am on a cushion with the seat down. I am not sitting like with my bare butt hanging in the so we're just because we're just like there's the visual.
We're professionals,
I have pants on today. Thank you very much. They might be yoga pants, but the yoga I don't do, but would like to. But I do have pants on. My butt is not bare.
Oh, I have a friend who does yoga in her bathroom because it's the only place of the house where she will be left alone again, and she has just a little space to put her yoga mat, and she goes in there with her earpods. You say and so she can listen to whatever she's supposed to be doing or to some music and do her yoga. And that's the only place where her kids won't follow her or her husband for that sake. So it's like, so really bathrooms.
We can do yoga in the bathroom. Yeah, this bathroom, I have a granite countertop. I would be kind of scared of like coming up from a downward dog and like bang my head. And somehow being next to the toilet on the floor. But
it depends how big is the bathroom. Once again,
That's
for me.
True.
My father was an architect, so he used to build most of the homes we lived in, and they basically all had small bathrooms, like tiny, like not very. And for me, it was kind of growing up. I understood that it was also his way of not caring about his body at all. And so it was literally, he was dismissing the whole body issue. And I think that the way we treat our body is the way we treat our bathroom. And, it goes both ways. People that spend the least possible time in their bathrooms, don't want to look at their mirror, don't want to use their bathrooms, or people that, even if they could, because their bathroom is good enough and big enough, they don't. It speaks around, the fact that there is, I think it is the one room in the house where you are most of me is my body in there.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think that's a really good point. How much our self-worth gets played out in the bathroom, even just in, like, how you take care of yourself, how, the products, that do you buy the cheapest products possible? Do you splurge on stuff? Like, where do you find, how much do you put into all of that? I think that just says so much
and
about.
for me, I was reminded um, uh, something like 12 years ago, when I had a huge flare up of psoriasis. So it's a skin disease that I didn't have before and that appeared there. And as from that time, I have been it has been compulsory to really take care of my skin. And before that, I was just the person that would go into the shower and get out of the shower and, let's get to business, basically. And ever since the psoriasis kicked in, it has been um, going back and forth of, I could feel the pull and the push of, am I going to take care of it? And of course I have to be very, very specific about the products and go all natural and forget about all the shiny, glittery things that are just going to make a mess of my skin. But I can feel, the days where, or the weeks or the months where I feel like, okay, I'm going to take care of myself. And that implies that I spend time in my bathroom, and then the other days, which is like, forget it. And it usually means that my self-love or my self-esteem goes down the drain with the poop. I have to say. What you were saying earlier about that the feng shui idea that energy is leaving, blah blah blah. I understand the Chinese thingy, but it also means that it's the one place that you can get rid of crappy energy, of junky energy, of anything, literally that you don't need anymore. So you can make every part of the release some ritual.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that's how I kind of feel. Like I'm just like releasing all
the Chinese seem to feel that if the main goal is to not let the bad energy in, but once it's in, how do you get rid of it if you don't have a bathroom, basically?
That's a good. Yeah. Well, Well, I think it's coming back to it. Things have evolved from when this was first started. And
I agree.
Yeah, there's definitely. I definitely understand and work with energy flow and how it, often feels better and is more gentle when we move clockwise, and we allow the energy to flow clockwise, and and mirrors work a lot with that. And there's a lot to it that I think there's a lot of great common sense. And when we, like a client recently said to me that she wanted to work with me over doing feng shui because she liked my intuitive approach, and that in the East she had found that it was much more about having a structure and the communal, this is how we do things, where I am so not like, this is how everything is always done. I'm like, what's your story? Who are you? And how do we tell that story? And I have a huge toolbox to, for me,
one of the things for me is like the 4 directions, in just pretty much any spiritual thingy, their theory, there's a thing about the 4 directions, but it so depends where you live. For me, I live the west, just there, like an hour away is the ocean, so obviously the west is linked with water, like obviously. Now if I was living in New York, the west would never be connected with water. And I think giving ourselves permission to do just, to feel the thing intuitively, and mostly when we're like you and we're so educated on the subject, so you've got the knowledge, and then you can allow the intuition to kick in on top. So
I think it's not just the intuition, it's listening to who my clients are, and really celebrating that, and understanding that most people do a lot of things already, like to support themselves, and you don't always see it, so.
Do
Like,
you
I'm just
have
living on my
do you have
toilet.
a do you have a final or not final, but would you have
Yes.
a piece of advice on, what can we do in any bathroom, something that we could do to be called to spend more time there or to have more
Mm.
fun there or to,
I think
something
I
would,
find, yeah, in that place of like, for me, it's a place of having, as I'm flowing, I work from home and, parenting stuff, and I'm a newly single mom. So there's just like all the stuff. So my bathroom is this way station. So inside my medicine cabinet, or I like to think of the health cabinet, medicine, I don't even think but I have a whole vision board on the inside. So I open it up, and sometimes like when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm reading the positive affirmations in there. I do love to sometimes put positive affirmations on the mirrors. I have one of those fancy Cricut machines, so I cut the vinyl and stick it on. But Post-its work great too, or even an old lipstick on the mirror. I think just creating it how I think letting it be a place of as you release, what are you bringing in? In fact, when I lived in San Diego, I had a whole vision board, and I put a picture from this very posh neighborhood in Rancho Santa Fe, which is like considered the Beverly Hills of San Diego. Would you believe a friend used my bathroom, and she was looking at the vision board? She goes, "Oh, that's a great vision board. I really loved it. I really felt it." Do you know she ended up moving into that neighborhood where I had a picture of that house?
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's
So,
another thing I want to say on that. You can keep it private. Bathrooms are also often public places. You can put all kinds of affirmations and vision boards behind pictures. See, I was going to say, I think behind this picture, but one of the pictures on the wall that I showed you has a bunch of affirmations behind it so that it's private. Our subconscious mind remembers everything, but so we don't have to see it, and you can keep it private. You don't have to plaster all of your heart's desires for everyone to see. So there's that. And then I just also, my daughter would be, I think, upset if I didn't share that she and I have a whole shtick about toilet paper, because she's a COVID kid, grew up, she was 6 through 8, so the toilet, she was baffled by people just being so, panicked about toilet paper, and Dad ordered like a huge box of like industrial toilet paper that sat in the garage just in case. But she's a Virgo, so she has this like, and I am a Pisces, and I'm kind of like, when it comes to toilet paper, I started realizing I could tell sometimes if she had gone to the bathroom, because I will shred it. I will just, I'm a shred, well, let's see. I will just come in and rip it off. Now see, it's perforating, but she will take the time to make sure that she calls it supreme. Oh, she would yell at me about that right there.
I'm with your daughter here.
You are a supreme ripper. I am a shredder, and
no, I'm a supreme. Yep.
Yeah, you were.
I'm not a Virgo.
I'm not surprised. Right, but you're a Taurus, so that's
yes,
still
I'm
an
Taurus.
Earth sign, very grounded.
Yeah.
I am like, I come in and rip it off, and it often looks like a wild animal attacked our toilet paper. And one day, I was in here, and I'm trying to get her off the toilet, and I'm like, I gotta go. So I just ripped it for her, and I started ripping it like this, and it just kept going.
Oh yeah.
The look on her face was like, I can't believe I'm related.
Sheer panic.
Horror. She was horrified because it was like 3 feet, and I'm like, oh, it's just not stopping. And she was horrified that like, I mean, she really looked at me like she couldn't believe that she was like related to me, like.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But the toilet paper thing is, for me, last year or the year before, when COVID hit and the whole, there is not going to be enough toilet paper. I was like, hey guys, we're talking in a situation that we might be locked in for 6 weeks, 6 months, who knows? And, food we should worry about, as in, fast, because except for us, I'm lucky to live in the middle of nowhere, so I could, grow a garden. if we came to that, or if I could just go and forage. But most of you guys who live in cities and towns and suburbs, it's like food. Yeah. Now, wiping your ass, are you going to seriously having a nervous breakdown because you can't wipe it with a 3-folded thingy or a 3, how do you, and it's like, okay, this is the emergency. All right, then. Sure. Why not? It was kind of, for me, it was kind of, and today I was reading again that they're having some issues with formula, or, there are things that are missing that are, for me, way more dangerous than toilet paper, But I want to end up this conversation because we're going towards the end, right? So my participation would be to tell you about my plumber's theory around bathrooms. So we built this house. Well, it's a very old house, so we renovated this house to be a bed and breakfast 20 years ago. And so we have 8 bathrooms in the house, right? 5 kitchens, 8 bathrooms. So it's like, we got to know our plumber intimately. He knew my kids. He mostly spent 2 years working for us. And one of his very, very basic theories was, okay, he used to say, I believe that water should not be brought into the house. Let's have all the bathrooms and toilets outside, at the back of the garden. Forget it, because water in the house is always going to leak. There's always going to be a mess. And I thought that was so funny. The guy was making a living. He was 50 something years old. He was making a living creating toilets and trying to convince us that, forget it, just don't do it. Never mind. And I thought, okay. Well, but I agree. But I agree that for having 8 bathrooms and having lived in this house for 20 years, we've had numerous leakages and problems, and so maybe the whole concept of a bathroom is to be revised, also. And in France, it's very fashionable to have now these dry toilets that are completely ecological. Ooh, I see your face. People won't see you on the podcast, but
I know.
Yes. So these are called dry toilets. And we're not talking showering, right? But we're talking literally pee and poo. And so the idea is you have a seat, basically, and under the seat is some sawdust. A big container, plastic, that contains sawdust. And you do whatever you have to do there. And then you add some more sawdust. And then when the thing is full, you just grab it, take it out to the garbage, basically. So there's no water involved in the toilet process. So it might seem weird, but it doesn't smell. No, it doesn't. And it uses no water. So you have no... I remember also this drawing. I don't know if you've seen that on the internet. There's this little girl in Africa, and she's literally, starving, or, and she is by a river that is dry. You can see that the river is dry, and they've got a cartoon bubble upside her, and it says, seriously, you're telling me you're wasting drinkable water into your toilets? And it made, that's why the dry toilet thing does not seem like a completely stupid idea.
Well, it's like a litter box. I mean, essentially,
it's exactly. Only you sit on it. You don't have to, lift your leg to do that, to do your business.
Right.
But so these in Europe are very fashionable, and I've seen them in Germany, for instance, who are very, very ecological country. They have those even in public offices and supermarkets, and like it's growing, basically. The idea that water does not need to be involved into the pooing situation or the peeing situation.
So. See, I go the opposite way with the posh Japanese seat
obviously.
That like is heated, has warm water washing my lady parts and all that, and then
it plays you music,
and it plays my music. I mean, I just
Yeah, I was in Japan, and I was really impressed, to be honest, with Japanese thing. As far as personal comfort or luxury goes, I would go for the Japanese. Now, if we're talking save the planet, the dry toilet would do the trick.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's 45 minutes. We said we would end after 45 minutes. If you guys who are listening to this, because I forgot to say at the beginning that this is going to become a podcast episode. So if you're listening to this on the podcast or on any replay, because it's been streaming on various channels, both mine and Kristy's, and you have any questions or you want us to go some more about bathrooms, don't hesitate to reach out, DM any of us or comment or whatever. If you do like those conversations, like the podcast, I'd love that. And if you want to know more about Kristy, and sorry, I'm trying to find, oh gosh, this thing isn't working. Sorry. If you want to know more about Kristy and how you can work with her, you will find all the info with the links above or below the video if you're watching this on video, or in the description of the podcast. Basically, for now, you can join her Facebook group, which is called Haven of My Enlightenment. And yes, it spells home. Clever, eh? And so you can join her Facebook group. The link is above or below. You can also go and check her website at kristyiris.com. Very original title.
It's with a K and a Y. Kristy.
Oh yeah, with a K and a Y.
Just Kristy Iris, Kristy.
Absolutely.
IRIS.
And again, the links are below or above in any iteration of this, whether video or audio. And if the website is not finished yet, which it's not at the day of the recording, but it will be soon, you will see you can still work with Kristy, because she does do work one-on-one. So don't hesitate to DM her. Yeah, because you don't have to live in Florida to work with Kristy.
No,
great thing.
I can read all the energy and the juju and the layout of your home via video.
Of your bathroom first.
Of your bathroom, yes.
And then the rest of the house. So
thank you. Bathrooms around the world, yes.
I love that. I've made bathrooms feel better all over the world.
And they're people.
And there are people who live in the bathrooms. Or who hide in them.
Right.
Thank you very, very much for being here with me. That was so fun. I love talking about poop. And
well, this was our shit show, right?
Yeah, there is still a 4-year-old inside me. Like my inner child had a blast. And yeah. I can't wait to have you again to talk about other spaces in the house. And on a general basis, these conversations, things women don't talk about, happen once a month, usually around the dark moon. And next month is another friend of mine, and we're going to be talking about something way less poopy and a little darker. We're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. So if you want to join me and Lynette Jurotka on next month, I don't have the date yet, but you will find everything in when the date comes closer by, in roughly 4 weeks. Voila. Yes. Thank you very, very much, Kristy. Thank you for playing with me, and enjoy your time in the bathroom.
Thank you. I'm just going to hang out here for a little while longer, I think.
Bye for now.